And we're back, folks. The stream lives again. What we were talking about. I think I fixed the streaming issue now. Pushing 4K was a little too much. So, excuse me. So we were talking about VS Code. VS Code is cross-platform. We need it. It can do so much. In the previous stream, I showed you how we installed the C++ extension. We got the Git lens with Git Kraken. We don't have Git and it throws an error, but I don't know if we need any of that. It doesn't really matter. So I did get it building. It requires that you have, and I can't zoom, but I learned a new trick. Magnifier with Windows key and the plus button. Snazzy. I can't tell if it's effective. Okay, maybe not. So we can keep hitting it to get more zoom. So can you see? I can't tell if you. Let me check the stream. Can't tell if you can see all the way to the left or not. Okay, maybe you can. So you see this file and this file and this file, these JSON files. Okay. So you got these three JSON files. When you start to work with a project, it will start to create these files. When you go to the extensions and you go to, oh yes, it would be the C++ extension. Visual Studio Code Task Provider for compiling. Let me see here. Compiling with GCC Suite. And you'll notice, like, the CPP build task here. It uses GCC. I don't know why it says Visual Studio. Oh, Visual Studio Code Task Provider. Okay, anyway, right here in these descriptions, the details, that's where you for like MS Build. Let me see here. C++. Okay, right here. CPP extension tutorials per compiler and platform. Right here is the MS. Now I know most of you may not want the MSVC, but we're gonna code up several versions, and the MSVC is just their compiler, so I don't have to compile in Windows desktop application. This is just the compiler, and I'm not keen on GCC because it throws a lot of errors for other things. Later on, I'll switch compiler. We might even build our own or something, who knows. But when you click this, it's going to take you to configure. Oh, broke my magnifier. Oh, what's happening here? Okay. Scooch. Okay. And let's see, create. Let's see. somewhere in here is how to get the what's this? To build it. Whoa. Clang, what? Let's see here. That's not what I used. Right here. That. Okay. That's right. I forgot. There was a welcome screen. It was a welcome window when this is the overview. No. Hang on. Here it is. Here it is. The MSVC tutorial. Is that the same thing? Yeah. It is. Okay. So, somewhere in here there was a command prompt for there was command line. Man, where is that? It was on a welcome screen. It showed it in the picture right there. And yeah, okay, I guess all you need is desktop development or something. But I installed it from command line. And let's see here. Well, anyway, there's a welcome screen, and when you install this, I think it pops up. You go through, choose your compiler, whatever compiler you guys are going to use. I don't know if my code will work with it, but this is the compiler I'm using. Let's see here. That's what we want right there. VS Code documentation repository. Install VS Code. Install the extension. Install the tool set right here. It says to use the Visual Studio and then just get the build tools for Visual Studio right there. Okay, yeah, I guess it is in there. I have it installed separately though. But it doesn't really matter how you do it, command line or what. This gave me a certain it had certain parameters in the command line, so I wanted to find it and post it, but it was in the information to build this anyway. And when I first started, I showed you that there was like a red squiggly line under the include, and we hit that and did the automated. I explained all that. That will take you to the welcome screen, or it's in the extension explanation description. It's called. So we're going to get out of here. There's a couple other things I need to mention. This channel right here, constref. This guy literally had 400 subscribers. It seemed like. That's just not a lot. I'm just letting you guys... I don't work for him or nothing, but I'm letting you guys know about Constref. He did multi-threading concurrency. It's not, I mean, it's correct, but it's not the way we're doing it. It's not the most correct way. I don't know that my way is the most correct way. Anyway, there's some good information here. And some older information, but at least I think. And then there's this other one, the Real JT Gill. The Real JT Gill. JTGILL. Gets blurrier and blurrier from the magnifier. He's only got 450. So and he just did this one video on physics, but it's really good information. So that's those guys. I was able to recover a lot of the code because I had it in here. We're back to Visual Studio because we need the project file. We need the solution. The problem is I built with the MS Build system, even though I had to make my own clean function and everything. But I need the projects and the solution to provide the information, because I'm not fluent in writing the property group, item groups, all that. So I'm going to have it see how it includes main.cpp. It's supposed to have inclusions for all these files. Otherwise, it just stops right at the top and says, I don't know what that is. But we're going to rebuild it. We've rebuilt this thing. I mean, there's not much to it. But there's even less to it now. So it's almost understandable. Now, going through a wait-free queue that I don't even know if it works properly in this state, because it's just what the AI spit out when I asked it to replace my files after my hard drive was destroyed. I found out why it was destroyed, by the way, because the new Windows update is massive. It's like 60 gigabyte, I think. I've used 100 gigabyte so far, and my code and everything I have on this computer couldn't possibly be more than 20 gigabyte. So Windows, not including VS Code, VS anything, just Windows and its updates, because I've installed absolutely nothing, that and PhotoMind and Steam with OBS Studio. Oh, I have one game. It's a small game, about 8 gigabyte. So, but that's still within my 20 gigabyte estimation, okay? 80 gigabyte Windows is taken, 80. I had 8 left, 8 gigabyte left on my old drive when it tried to overwrite the new update, which was probably 40 to 50 gigabytes, maybe 60 gigabyte, too big. So, the hard drive, if it's not encrypted or whatever, I can order a part and I might be able to retain the code. But we're going to rewrite the thing, and we're going to write it in such a way that we can use C++ in VS Code so that we can not only can we go on Linux with a VM or whatever, which you can get right in your sidebar. Look at this. I have a VMware right here, okay? Gives me an instant, it's called Get VM, instant free Linux and IDE sidebar. I literally get a computer in my sidebar of my browser, okay? For 30 minutes, a month or a week or a day, or that's it. That's all you get. You get a 30-minute timer. But that's as good as what I get at the library if if I wanted to use a computer. So, we got a lot of stuff to cover. I hate to do it to you, but I'm going to take a break right away. As soon as we cover all the topics we're going to talk about, we're going to get into rebuilding this thing. So all I have is the source here from, this is what you see here in VS Code, but we're going to delete all this and start fresh. I've already backed it up to my other spot here, where VS Studio, or VStudio, whatever you call it, has created this. Now, what have I done? Let me show you. Allow me to show you what I have done. So, I have created a shared project. Now, obviously, I didn't look at that. I didn't look at the solutions, folders, just as we discussed before. So what we got is a solution we created. The solution is called CrossView this time. All right, we're going to go CrossView, which is just going to be the entry point plus the multi-threading. We're going to do, we already have Almond Core. We're going to refine Almond Core with what we update in CrossView. We're going to refine Almond Shell with what we do in Almond Core. We're going to refine Almond Engine with what we do with Almond Shell. We have a shared project. This doesn't do anything. You can't compile it. It just stores code. But it allows you to put all your code there and share it between any other projects you want to share it with. Your static lib, your dynamic lib. And we just created projects just like this, and I left it. I left it and did nothing for hours. For hours, people. You don't know how good I am to you. You don't know. Now, we're going to create a new project to show you how this works. You can see. This is all I've done. So, you can see Static Library Android. They've changed this. This is changing. This is ever changing. Every time I install this, it's different. Alright, so what we're going to do, and we're not even going to use this right now, but we're going to show you how you can use like C++ Windows Library. So this is very specific to Windows. It would be an SO. Let's see, do they have that? See, here's the shared items project. This is what you get when you share it. You can share it between anything. Okay? Now, we're going to create a DLL. Now we're going to name our DLL with a naming format that is going to be first. This is the beginning of the file name. So what that does is uses the alphabetical ordering, and I can choose where my files will be alphabetically ordered when we display them. And bin will be at the top, and it'll contain everything. And it's exterior to all the projects. And then if you go in each project file, whether it's the shared project CrossView folder, the example DLL1 folder, then you will find a source file, an SRC file. Now this is all done in lowercase. The bin and the SRC are done in lowercase because you might be accessing it from command line, such as the case with And to hit shift while you're doing command line sucks. So that's why you don't do that. Alright, we made a DLL. We haven't done anything. All I made was a basic static lib. We don't have to worry about these files because all it does is initialize the library, and that's good. So just hearing something funny. Alright, so let's see here. So this just accesses it doesn't access, it's just a function. It's just a function example. So all we need in order to use this cross view shared library is to go to references here. Not external dependencies, but references. And we got to add a reference. You got to be very careful about what you do in here, because if you delete something, you're in trouble. And you'll have to start fresh, like maybe rebuild the entire project, start fresh. So, hold on. These are green. It's very hard to code. It's hard to code with these. But they do help my eyes with the light. There we go. It's party time. It's party time. Alright, so we got crossview. Now this is a weird color. Alright, enough with the glasses for now. Okay, so we added a reference instantly. Here, let me show you. Let me remove that reference. We're going to go to the console application. This is the executable, whereas this is the lib, and this is the actual source. We can make a CMake project for Linux. We can use WLS, Windows Linux subsystem, and code for Linux right on Windows. And get, in VS Code at least, we can get extensions that can build it with a Linux compiler. Alright, so you notice we can't include crossview. Notice that in the crossview source, we can't include anything. Let's see, we need something like, okay, functional. It's part of the standard template library. Why can't you include it? Can I open source file? Well, I can't see it because this is just a nothing project. It doesn't actually have a project. If you try to go to the properties like any other project, you'll get this thing over here, which doesn't help you much. There is no real properties to it even. It has a name and a project file, but no dependencies are listed. The root namespace is not listed. You could fill that in and it might help you somehow, but really that's just not helping. So the problem is that we need a reference, because everything has to be initialized. And the only way we can initialize this at all, or to connect to Windows, is through the executable. Well, it's through the library file, because it's got to be a static lib or a executable in order to these two right here. Here, I'll separate them with this for a second. Okay, so these two, they have to be, it has to be one of these two, or one of these, or one of these. It cannot be one of these. This does not build. So in order to use it, or excuse me, in order to use any code within it, it has to be part of a project that does actually that is an actual project. It has to be referenced in order for standard template library to be included in it, or Windows, or a lot of other files. So it can't have inclusions, is what I'm getting at. You can't set up a linker or anything like that for it. So we have our reference here. We don't need any of these files. They're really irrelevant. It doesn't even include Windows. It's just a bunch of junk files that actually initialize the library just fine. So it'll work. But we do need to set up the inclusions for it. So what we need, and I was already working on this one, so I don't want to show you this one just yet. What we need is what I showed you before. We go to the properties. The very first thing we do is check the configuration it's on. We want to do all configurations so we can change all at once. So we don't have to do it manually, and it doesn't tell us that we can't see it because it's got different ones for each one. So do you want to view it by configuration, or do you want to change it by all configurations? That's your options. So we put bin in here. We're going to do lowercase bin, like we talked about. We're going to copy the project name here. Put a slash in there. Now we got the build files are going in the right place. We need to set C++ 20, not 14. And we've been using default MSBC, but why not give that the latest as well? Oh, Alexa, turn on my computer.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's see here. Now, we need to go to the general sections of these two. C++, these two. Okay? We need to go in here, and any libraries you add, like a static lib like we have, you have to go to the additional include directories. And you always want to hit this and hit edit. Don't edit it right there because that'll cause problems. You want to hit new line. You can't just edit like this. Don't do that either. That's not a good idea. I would just delete that and make a new line. Hit that. Then you're going to go this one, what one were we setting up here? Well, which one was this? Okay, this is the static lib. So the static lib doesn't need to include anything. It is the included. So what we do with static lib is nothing here. Just let me think about this for a second, in case we miss anything else in here. Oh, yes, not using precompiled headers, because it'll cause problems at certain points sometimes. Yeah, and we just don't need them, so we'll just disable that. Now, we'll go over to the console application. In the console application, we're going to do the same thing. Go back to the configuration properties general. Okay. It's at the very top. Right here, general. We've already set it up here. See this? We're going to choose the exact same setup. We always want the exact same. The whole purpose of what I'm doing is so that we can have the exact same setup in C++ 20 purely and test it. Test the language, because here's my big secret, or my old big secret. is that C++23 has modules, and modules make the build extremely fast. It's like an upgrade to the PCH. That's why I'm not even bothering with the PCH. What's up, guys? What kind of Tokyo spliff is this? What kind of Tokyo spliff is this? Dude, that was a good stream. That just came out of nowhere. I got recommended good streams from streaming good C++. Nothing better than C++ at 2 a.m. That's what I'm talking. That is what I'm screaming, dude. It's party stream. C++, 2 a.m. All right. I'm trying to help everybody learn C++ because it's hard. I'm like the only one that can do it. So I'm here to teach everyone else how to do it. And you only need this one stream, man. Hold on to your pocketbooks until next year because I don't want to do the taxes, man. And then next year we can have like a New Year's blowout party. We'll get some strobes and maybe we can even rent some dancers. Who knows? I can hire the pseudo wife. All right, so. All right. I said I was going to take a break. I'm taking a break because I need to take a break. I got habits. All right. Just give me a second here. Alright. It's telling me the stream status is good, but... I changed the bitrate to be the right. Hang on. Guys, this stream is just not working. I mean, it's going, but let's see. It says it's errors.